He is pushed out of the airport priority line in front of everyone. The rope closes behind him before he can explain. The terminal keeps breathing around him, suitcases rattling across polished floors, overhead announcements layering over one another, travelers weaving through open spaces with the restless confidence of people who believe they are exactly where they belong, while he stands just outside the black strap, close enough to hear the scanners beep and far enough to feel the quiet shift in status settle on his shoulders. The priority line moves smoothly again, jackets neat, bags compact, boarding passes already unfolded in practiced hands. And the small interruption he caused disappears almost instantly. As if order has been restored and the room has collectively agreed not to question how. He does not step away from the rope, not because he expects to be invited back, but because moving farther would feel like accepting something he has not agreed to. His coat plain but carefully buttoned, his carry-on upright beside his leg, his posture calm in a way that draws attention precisely because it refuses to react. A few steps inside the line, the man who pointed him out earlier relaxes, his shoulders dropping, his jaw unclenching, his eyes already forward again, satisfied that the boundary has been enforced without him having to raise his voice any further. The woman who had turned around moments before exhales, the irritation on her face dissolving into relief, her focus returning to the gate screen as if the situation has resolved itself naturally. The staff member at the front continues scanning boarding passes. Green light after green light, the machine rewarding compliance with efficiency. Her eyes rarely lifting because nothing appears out of place anymore. He glances once at the sign above the line, priority access printed clearly in letters no one could mistake, and then looks away, not out of doubt, but because staring would only stretch the moment longer than necessary. People pass behind him in quick streams, dragging bags, checking phones, adjusting jackets, entirely unaware of the small public judgment that has just taken place, a judgment that required no evidence, only appearance and timing. Minutes earlier, he had stepped into the line without hesitation, his movement unremarkable, his boarding pass folded neatly between his fingers, his eyes forward. And for a brief moment he had blended into the rhythm of the terminal like everyone else. The footsteps had stopped behind him almost immediately, followed by a voice that sounded calm enough to seem reasonable, asking whether he understood that this was the priority line, a question that did not actually require an answer. He had turned slowly and said yes, quietly offering nothing more than the truth, and the man's gaze had dropped from his face to his shoes to the worn handle of his bag, then back up again, with a conclusion already formed. When the man said he did not think so, louder than necessary, heads had turned just enough to notice, just enough to feel included, and the space around him had tightened without anyone stepping closer. Someone had laughed softly, another person had checked their watch, and the line had slowed as if waiting for confirmation that the interruption was justified. When the pointing started, subtle but unmistakable, the tone of the moment shifted from curiosity to decision, and the woman ahead had turned fully, her voice sharp but controlled as she complained about the delay, framing the problem as time rather than judgment. He had looked at her briefly, then away, choosing silence because it cost less, his boarding pass still folded carefully, his hands steady, his body refusing to mirror the tension rising around him. The man behind had leaned closer and suggested he step out, lowering his voice as if offering help rather than pressure, and by the time the staff member looked up and asked what was going on, the answer had already been supplied for him. When she asked whether he had priority access, he had unfolded his boarding pass slowly, deliberately, aware that speed might look defensive, and said yes again, holding it out just enough to show willingness without surrender. She had not taken it, instead gesturing to the side and asking him to step out while she checked. And in that moment the rope had opened before any verification took place, making the decision feel final even as it claimed to be temporary. Now, standing outside the strap, he watches the same people move forward into the space he had occupied, the boundary closing behind them with a soft click that sounds louder than it should, sealing the judgment in place. The man who accused him avoids looking back, his satisfaction quiet, but complete, while the woman's attention remains fixed on the screen ahead, her role finished the moment the inconvenience disappeared. Time stretches uncomfortably, seconds dragging longer than they should, the silence around him heavier than the constant noise of the terminal, and he shifts his weight once before stilling again, his gaze steady, his posture unchanged. The staff member continues scanning passes, each beep reinforcing the invisible line he has been placed behind. Green lights flashing for others while he waits without instruction or acknowledgement. Travelers rush past him from every direction, brushing shoulders, dragging luggage, completely unaware that a small social verdict has just been delivered in the open, one that no one feels responsible for once it is complete. He does not look at anyone now, not out of shame, but out of habit, because meeting eyes would invite explanations no one is prepared to hear. Then the overhead speaker crackles, cutting cleanly through the layered noise of the terminal, and a name is called with formal clarity, repeating once for certainty. The staff member freezes mid-scan, her hand hovering above the screen as she looks from the monitor to the man standing just outside the rope. recognition dawning too late. When she asks if that is him, her voice sharper, uncertain. He steps forward and answers yes, and for the first time since the moment began, the room pauses. She takes the boarding pass now, scans it, and the screen changes color instantly, unmistakably, and the shift in her posture is immediate. Her shoulders straightening, her expression recalibrating. The word sorry escapes her before she can shape it properly, and when she says he is cleared for priority boarding, the sentence lands heavier than the accusation that removed him. The line stops moving. No one speaks. The staff member reaches for the strap herself, pulling it back with deliberate care, opening the boundary that moments earlier had closed without question. She asks him to come through, her tone careful now, controlled, and he steps forward calmly. Not rushing, not pausing, passing the exact place where he was pushed out, the correction happening in silence. No one meets his eyes as he walks by, not the man who accused him, not the woman who complained, not the others who watched without intervening, the space around them suddenly thick with awareness. The rope closes behind him again, this time on the other side, and another announcement thanks him for his patience, unnecessary but audible enough to underline what has just changed. He does not look back, does not smile, does not acknowledge the shift in power, and continues toward the gate with the same steady pace he had when he first entered the line. Behind him, the priority line resumes, but the rhythm is different now, slower, quieter, the confidence replaced by something restrained. No one laughs. No one checks their watch. They wait, carrying the weight of a judgment made in seconds and corrected only when authority spoke, while he moves forward without a word, leaving the silence to do what explanations never could.